and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, where today we're talking about Tottenham potentially signing Conor Gallagher. But before we get into this one, if you are new around here, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, let's get into the video. So news broke yesterday on Twitter that Tottenham are potentially lining up an audacious bid for Chelsea's Conor Gallagher. And as you can tell probably by my hesitation, this one came at a bit of a shock. So the news was being reported by McGrath from the Telegraph. Little rhyme there. Quite like that. But, you know, Telegraph, quite, established, reputable source. So when I saw them tagged in with this, I was pretty surprised. And I just thought this would be like quite a paper rumour that you just wouldn't take much notice of. But it's really got my attention. So it says Tottenham have identified Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher as a replacement for Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, and he could cost up to 50 million in the current market. I mean, honestly, what is going on with the current transfer window and the prices for especially English players? I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And when I first saw this news yesterday, I really didn't know how to react. I was completely shocked, blew my head off, and I just can't believe that this transfer could happen for a number of reasons. Firstly, let's look at the point of view for, say, Tottenham and how he could potentially line up in the system. So, obviously, we know, I've explained it a million times, Ange plays with a 6 and 2 8s. And currently, those positions are held probably by Bissouma's going to be the 6, maybe, or a Skip, or a Hojbjerg. And then the 8s will probably be James Maddison, Bentancur when he's fit, and maybe Conor Gallagher. And, I mean, Conor Gallagher, for a player, like, yeah, got really good legs. He has got so much energy. He's like a dog chasing a ball. But apart from that, I think he's absolutely rubbish. So he'd probably come in as like a Maddison sort of, to play with Maddison, or maybe as a sub for Maddison. But honestly, I just really do not like this transfer one bit. As I say, with the profile of a Gallagher, high energy, but so erratic, I don't think he's good enough for Chelsea. And I certainly don't think he's good enough for us either. I just can't see him lining up in a Tottenham midfield this season. And I just don't even think he's good enough for Chelsea. I think last season he was awful. I didn't see any bright sparks from him. He was used as a bit part player. I just really don't think he's a higher Premier League player. I think he's more suited to maybe an Everton or going back to a Crystal Palace, for example. I just don't think he offers much as a midfielder. When I think about the modern midfielder, you've got to be an all-rounder, like a Declan Rice maybe. You know, you chip in with a goal or an assist. You also have the energy to do tackles and break up the play. Or you're very specific at what you do. For example, James Maddison, wouldn't say he's an amazing defensive midfielder, but, you know, he gets amazing goals and assists. What does Gallagher do? And paying £50 million, that's an absolute joke. We signed Maddison for £40 million. And I know Leicester had circumstances where they lowered their price because they were relegated. But Chelsea are taking the absolute biscuit asking for £50 million. I mean, if he wasn't English, what fee would he demand? I really don't think he has a lot in his catalogue to really allow him to be worth that much. I look back on his career at West Brom. He was okay. I think he wasn't amazing. There were some bright sparks, potentially, but they got relegated and he wasn't good enough. And at Chelsea, he's been, as I say, a bit part player. You know, you look at the season just gone, he's played under 3 different managers and couldn't start under many of them. And, you know, he'd come on and have some cameos and run around like a headless chicken and didn't offer much. Maybe, yeah, wow, he puts in the occasional tackle, but that's your job, mate. But even after that supposedly successful spell at Palace, and I say supposedly because I think he started off all right and then he dropped out the team for a little while. And when he came back in, I thought he was awful. I just didn't think he offered them anything. If anything, he was a detriment to the team. And I've got many friends who are Crystal Palace fans, and they literally after this were like, we don't really want to sign him. I don't think he's a good enough option for us. They preferred when they had, you know, Ruben Loftus-Cheek in their midfield a few years ago. Like, he was a better option. So, you know, to impact aside that negatively when you looked like you were doing well in the start of your loan spell was pretty worrying. I think he's also been linked with, again, a move to Palace. But the audacity for Chelsea to first of all reject a bid of 40 million from Everton back in January, to then up that to 50 million in the summer window is just nuts. But I've also read he's set to go on Chelsea's pre-season tour to America, and I just can't see this transfer happening. And I can't see it happening for two main reasons. Firstly, reason number one, Chelsea are severely lacking midfielders at the moment. They've got rid of Cant, they've got rid of Kovacic, they've got rid of Loftus-Cheek. At the moment, it's Enzo Fernandez, who's a guaranteed starter, and then you've got Conor Gallagher, you've got Chukwuemeka. I mean, they need to make some signings first of all, but they're probably better off keeping him as a bit part player anyway. Secondly, and I've been having to think about this for a long time, no one likes dealing with Tottenham. Probably no one likes dealing with Daniel Levy in particular, but Tottenham Hotspur don't deal with anyone. Let's go for the big six. Arsenal, we're never going to deal with them. They're our rival. Just not going to happen. Chelsea, similar. The last player probably was Carlo Cudicini that went between the clubs. Yeah, not good. Liverpool, just never happens. Man City, doesn't happen either. And lastly, Manchester United, they just like buying off us. People just hate Tottenham. It's obvious, like the song. People just don't want to deal with us, don't want to deal with Levy, and it's probably understandable. They're never going to try and buy any of our players because Levy's just putting a big X on it, and they're not going to sell anyone to us. It just doesn't happen. But yeah, after that bit of a rant towards the end there, what do you reckon about Conor Gallagher? Is he good enough for Tottenham? Is he good enough for Chelsea? Should Tottenham go in for him? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you have enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I've been Sonny, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.